Thanks for coming on this holiday Monday. A number of things to talk about today. Real quickly, our tennis and track teams got underway with some preseason competition. Really excited about the track team, the women's and men's track teams. Competed in an indoor meet at the University of Washington and set 11 Big Sky Conference qualifying standards. So they had an excellent opening weekend, already gearing up for that Big Sky Indoor Championship meet. So they had a great weekend. Both men's and women's tennis competed in some non-conference matches, and they're just now getting going. So a lot of things happening. Of course, as we've mentioned, softball and golf already in preseason practice, and they'll be going soon as well. Before we talk about basketball, we have one item of business to talk about today, and I'm going to introduce someone here, and I think I'm going to save his life, at least from a potential heart attack, because I just saw the huge mountain of pasta he put on his plate. This will stop him from eating all of it. We have a little signing day event. David Hersh is going to come up and tell us about it.
My doctor thanks you. I thank you. Just a couple of quick things. We're going to do football signing day differently this year. And so we want to give you, our best fans, the advance notice. Signing day is going to be February 5th at Ruth's Chris Restaurant, beginning at 6 p.m. The price will be $50. It will include everything but alcohol. And the event, it'll be similar time event, a 2-3 hour, type event. We will also have, in addition to Nigel's presentation, Tori will be speaking about football. I'll be speaking about our promotional plans and how football is going to be different in 2014. The key will be limited seating. We will only take advance reservations. It'll be limited to the first 50 people that reply, and it's going to be a supply and demand event. So it will be February 5th at 6 p.m. at Ruth's Chris, and we just wanted you to put that note on your calendar. Two quick things about basketball to start the transition for Mike. We are really pleased to report the attendance surge that advanced sales has shown for basketball for the remainder of the year. Basketball revenues will be up more than double for women over last year. Men's may very well approach the same thing. So we're beginning to take the small steps necessary to get us ready to play in the pavilion. We think you're going to see a dramatic change in the month of February, and we just want to thank you for all your continued support.
So let's talk about men's basketball very quickly. Last week at Sacramento State, the men got an exciting overtime victory, their second win in a row, and beat Sacramento State, then went on to Northern Arizona, tied at halftime. Second half game kind of got away a little bit. Northern Arizona got hot, kind of ran away, but the Vikings did get a road split. Now the key is that the men come home for 4 straight, and that is where they really need to take advantage of the schedule. It starts this Saturday night against Southern Utah. The Vikings, again, 4 in a row at home over 8 days. So they play Saturday night, then the following Monday, a week from today, and then the following Thursday and Saturday. And right now, Tyler Geving is on the road doing some recruiting since they don't play until Saturday night, so he had a little time to get away and go do some very important recruiting. As a result, we have assistant coach Anthony Owens here to talk a little bit about the men's basketball team. So please welcome Anthony Owens.
Well, like you said, on Thursday we beat Sac in overtime. We just can't get away from those overtime games. That's how we got to get the wins. But our team right now is playing, they're coming together as the chemistry with our team is really coming together. And I think that's going to be a big part. You know, against Sacramento, those guys played really well together. They executed what we needed them to, and they took care of business. Even, you know, we made a couple mistakes down the stretch to go in overtime, But in overtime, we executed, and the number one thing we've been struggling with over the past couple years is our defensive efforts, and they just shut them down in overtime. So, our chemistry's coming together, and I think we should be able to do something big these next couple of weeks. In Flagstaff, we came out, we were flying around, we were aggressive. We went into halftime at 31-all, and then the second half we kind of struggled a little bit. I think we ran out of energy, ran out of gas, that gives NAU a little bit of credit to what they did. I mean, they came out and tried to blitz us. No excuses as far as the altitude goes, but I think that had a little bit to do with it. But hopefully when they come back this way, we'll take care of business. But we got Southern Utah this week. I'm pretty pleased. I think Coach Geving is also where our team's at with everything. As far as where their mindset's at, it seems like, we're small right now, and we might have one kid coming back at 6'6" that can help us in the front court. Our bigs are playing really well, and we might look at playing those guys together a little bit to help us with our size. But this week will be very interesting. I think we'll be able to take care of business and get rolling with our four-game home stretch. So.
Let's move on and talk a little bit about women's basketball. And before we talk specifically about the team, we're going to talk to an athlete of the week. And that athlete of the week is Angela Misa. Angela is from Oceanside, California. And the unfortunate news for her and for Portland State basketball is that injuries have been a little bit of a problem for her. And unfortunately, she's injured again. But when she has been on the court for Portland State, I think there's no question that she has been one of the best rebounders that the program has ever seen, and has certainly been a big part of the successes that the team has had when she's been healthy the last couple of years. But she's able to be here today, and she's going to come up and say hello, tell a little bit about herself, and feel free to ask her a question or two. So I would like to introduce Angela Misa.
Good afternoon. I'm Angela Misa, and I'm from Oceanside, California. I'm majoring in social science, and I'm a fifth-year senior, so I'm a little old. And I think that, we have some work to do with our team, but I'm excited about our team. I think we just lost our past game, but we're just having a hard time, putting things together. But, we're growing as a team, and it's really sad that I can't be a part of it, but I'm trying to be a good cheerleader. And something I'm trying to do in the near future is be a social worker. I want to work with kids that were abused or abandoned, or just be that kind of social worker that checks in with kids who are adopted. So I was adopted by my grandparents, so it's kind of something I feel like to give back because I know what it's like. And I also want to do sports modeling, so hopefully I could do that. But I'm excited about our team. We get to go play Southern Utah this weekend, which is a pretty good team. Everybody in our conference is pretty good. We all have our nights. But, we're a young team, and girls are learning. And, I haven't given up hope. I think, we got a long ways to go. We're not even halfway through conference. So, I'm excited. And, any questions?
How do you find, you say you also apply for sports modeling?
Yeah.
Do you find contacts because Nike, Adidas, et cetera, are here that you can find organizations that you can work for here?
Yeah, I feel like I have a couple of friends who do sports modeling, and G from the track team does it. And just being in Portland, since it's a big thing out here, it's obviously going to be way easier than if I was in California, to make connections and build relationships with people who work with Nike. I already know a lot of people who are in with Nike, friends, and then just peers that I've met. So, yeah. Any other?
You have your book?
Yeah, I kind of know where I kind of want to go with it. It's just, I believe it's NCAA violation for me to do anything like that because we're sponsored by Nike, and just like we can't go to the employee store, we can't work for Nike and get paid since we're sponsored by Nike and get stuff from Nike. So not until after season I would be able to do anything like that.
Have you already got your degree?
Not yet. I will be graduating in spring, so I'm taking 12 credits now, and then I'll be taking 4 credits next term, and then I'll be done. and then walking across the stage in June.
All right, thanks a lot to Angela. Appreciate her being here today. We're sorry that she's here kind of because she's injured. She was able to come, but obviously another good representative of our student athletes and what they're able to accomplish. So now we'll talk about women's basketball as a program. Right now the women are 3-4 in Big Sky Conference play, like the men last week. They beat Sacramento State. They lost to Northern Arizona. And I was able to watch the Sacramento State game on Watch Big Sky while I was watching the men's game on Watch Big Sky. I actually had two screens going at the same time, so it was a pretty exciting night for me to watch both of those games. And the one thing I'll say about Sacramento State, and I'm going to say one thing about that game, and if Coach Murrell wants to expand on it, she can feel free to, but I believe the Hornets were 11-2 when they came into the game, and we were coming off some losses, and I think if that wasn't a morality play that night to come and win that game, you haven't seen one, and it was pretty impressive, and certainly a good reason to be proud of our women's program and what those young ladies that were able to get on the court and play were able to accomplish. So I thought that was remarkable. So anyway, they won one and lost one last week. Women's basketball is now on a tough stretch of 3 in a row on the road, and started Southern Utah. So Sherri Murrell will now tell us all about it.
I just first want to say, it's just so disheartening to see Angela get hurt again, because this is a player that's endured a transfer from Oregon State, comes here, plays really hard, and then gets hurt her junior year. Rehabbed as strong and as hard as she possibly could. The doctor looked at her knee when they were getting ready to release her, and he said, "Sherri, her quad and her hamstring are as strong as you can get them." And so that was great news, because number one, Angela put the time in to do it, so it mattered to her to come back. But second of all, I mean, great, she's going to be. We don't have any concerns about that same knee, because that's a large part of what you need to have happen in those injuries. And unfortunately, at Montana State, one of the toughest road trips we have, it was a non-contact injury, and she went down. And so that was really hard to see, because this young lady right here has worked extremely hard. She's a good. She calls herself a cheerleader on the sidelines. It's going to take us a little bit to figure out who's going to step up in her role on the court, because she can be that same energizer. But she's doing her best on the sidelines. And I told her, I said, "Ange, I said, God for some reason didn't give you some good knees, but He's going to give you the chance to graduate, and I really want to see her across the stage, and that's what she's going to do." So. Sac State, we had a real difficult coming in. I had to do a little bit of suspensions. Some athletes, they weren't doing the correct things off the court. It's not the easiest thing to do to the right thing, but the right thing's always the right thing to do. And so we did that. So we have Angela on the sideline. We have 2 seniors on the sideline that are not playing. So going into this game, playing Sac State 11-2, they beat Oregon at Oregon. They beat St. Mary's at St. Mary's, who was number 1 at the time in the mid-major poll. So we're playing a really, really tough team, and we're with 3 of our seniors. We really sold them on our game plan. They were number 3 in the nation for scoring. They were number 1 in the nation for 3-point shooting. And we came up with a game plan that said, slow the ball down. And how many were there? I know the Salyers were there. I told the team, I said, please, 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 do not listen. Tell your parents ahead of time to tell them that I'm not going to shoot until 10 seconds left in the shot clock unless it's a wide open lay-in. You're going to hear your parents yelling at you. You're going to hear fans yelling at you to shoot. Don't do it. Basically, we slowed the ball down, and we did 4 corners, 1 in the middle, and that's exactly what we did. We slowed them down and beat them. They normally average 100 points a game. I think, 100, and we held them to 80 that game. So 20 less than their average. We also held them half of what they were doing 3-point wise. So Might have been crazy to look at. I think Gary and Jeannie probably were two of those group. We had a great crowd. I want to hats off to Dave. He did a great job. We had not only was it a good crowd, but the crowd was involved, and it was really exciting for our young ladies. So I thought marketing and Dave did a great job. But we were down 7 with I'd say about 3 minutes to go or so, and the kids just stayed the course and didn't deviate from the plan, which could have been easily happened. They could have easily said, okay, panic, and they stayed with the plan, and the plan ran its course, and we won, and I was just so proud of them. Now, the hardest thing, and Terry Mariani knows this, is that come from such an emotional win, you have to bounce back. Unfortunately, fortunately for NAU, everybody that has played now, they've gone 3 games straight, that has played Sac State struggles the next night with NAU as far as that's concerned. So I knew in my heart that this was going to be a tough game, especially with our kids out. With our 2, one got reinstated and 2 were on the bench, 1 for injury. And so, it's just tough. Our deal right now is we can't put 2 halves together, let alone 2 games together. And it really comes down to defense. We gave up 57 points in the first half, then held them to 31. And it's someone asked me, I think it was Anthony just asked me, what part of defense is not working? I said, well, on the ball, off the ball, everything. We have a lot of defensive issues that we just don't start the game intense and focused with. We kind of get our stuff together later in the game, but it has to be a full game. So hats off to NAU. They won that game handily. But I think a lot of things that we did in practice today, it was a whole defensive practice, and we're just trying to get better and trying to grow. And once we do that, there's like Anthony said, there's a whole lot of season left in conference, and I think the things that we're growing at, we're going to get better at for the games ahead. So I'm looking forward to, we won't see it for a while, but when we do, I think you're going to hopefully see a much improved defensive team. And then we're also finding our identity without Angela. She's a big presence for us, and so we're trying to do some things as a coaching staff with those differences. So I'm looking forward to coming back home. I hope our men just sweep and win so they get the Stott Center all ready for us in a good, happy, cheery way. Well, we need to have some more, but keep having some more exciting games, number one. But I think we're all figuring it out. I think David's trying to get the people out there to do it. But as you can tell, one clap leads to a second clap, Jeannie. So let's get it started with one and just follow suit. But I agree with her. She's it's just tough. She's, like I said, God didn't deal her a good set of knees, but she's got a good heart, and we just really appreciate her. In the end, we need to win games. Bobby Knight said, he said, 18-year-olds run around on the court with paychecks in their mouth. Yes, that's what happens every day. I'm coaching kids with paychecks in their mouth, but at the end of the day, we want these young women to grow, basketball, emotionally, physically, and everything. So, and I think she has done that, even if she hasn't had the longest span on the court. I think the 2 freshmen, that was such a big step. We had 2 freshmen, Delaney Perry and Lauren Holt, step up in starting positions in that game, and they did an excellent job. I couldn't be more proud of their contributions in that game. Delaney Perry is just a great basketball player. She's one of our best passers into the post. She is really good as far as passing and shooting. She's learning the speed of the game from high school to college. It's a big jump, so she's really learning that aspect of it. But she's a great athlete, and I think she's going to have a good career here. So she's did a good job. Lauren Holt, same thing. She's a very quick learn. When you come from high school, no matter how good your program is, and you go to college, there's so much to learn. And you have to be a quick learn to be able to get on the court. And I think you'd have to say the same thing, Anthony, is like there's a physical aspect of the change, but there's also a huge mental aspect. And Lauren Holt is probably the smartest player, so she did a really good job. And I think she had 20-something points that night, and half of them were off rebounds and putbacks. So she just did an excellent job. So I'm looking forward to these, When you have something happen like we did, it gives opportunities, and opportunities knock. You better be ready, and if you're not prepared, then you lose your chance. And I felt like those two young ladies were ready for that opportunity, and I thought they did a good job. Yeah, I thought our girls did a good job. We were 6 less turnovers than the average with people. Yeah, there was just many statistical things that I was really proud of them that they did. And then Eastern, we take a chapter of the book. Eastern takes a chapter of the book, and they did the same thing. They did spread it out and beat them on the road too. So Sac State's got a lot of. I'm sure that their staff's back home going, okay, we got to figure out how to make some adjustments. And I was proud of our kids too. We had to devise a plan together quickly, and we had plan B and C. If coach makes, we did this plan. If their coach makes an adjustment, I prepared our kids to say, okay, if he does this, this is what we're going to do. Fortunately, they never did that, and we were able to do plan A. So you could have the best plan in the world if you don't get the kids to do it, and have the kids like Angela and all the players that really listened to us and executed. It's not going to work, and so the credit goes to the young ladies for doing that.
I was going to say, talking about Delaney Parrish as well, 5'3" with shoes on, but her line that night against Sac brought this up. I hope she should have gotten a lottery ticket because she was 7 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. But the most amazing stat is 3 block shots.
Yeah, I think she outblocked Angela. Yeah, what a great kid. I think we have a good future in those guards. I really like, we have, Angela's going to she said she wants to try to come back, and we'll do that for sure. But we've got a great post coming in, that we've talked about earlier. But keep these guards really working hard, and I think we're going to make that combination. But hey, first things first, we have this year, and we're real excited. And I truly appreciate you coming here. I don't mean to talk as much as I did. It's all about Angela and really, but I really appreciate your time. And like I said, true friends. We want a lot of friends, right, David? But to come here on your day off, I really appreciate it. So thank you for your support.